Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about how to tank Twin Asuras, specifically Fireside. So if you've seen my Twin Asura guide from before, I said Fireside tanking is the hardest role. And so I'm going to do a step-by-step analysis on how to do it on a gunner. And you can do this on any range class. Even though I played my gunner, I did not use my hook shots that often for the mobility. I literally just walked sideways with my A key or my D key, just sidestepping. You can do this even on your summoner or even on a warlock. It's not too bad. So I'm gonna break it down and show you how to do it step by step. It's not that difficult after you know the boss rotations. So we're gonna start at this corner over here and we're gonna go in a square shape. So first we're gonna stand here. Once he starts dropping fire swords, we run up. We run to this location, then we wait until he drops fire swords again, and we run over here to this location. And then once more, we run down to this location, and finally we make full circle. And the main reason why I go like that in a square shape is because I want to end up at this location where I started at the end of his phase. So after he finishes dropping fire swords, there's going to be 4 flowers. There's going to be one here, one here, one here, and one here. Usually as the tank in our raid, I step on these 2 flowers. So I want to make sure that I'm over here at the beginning so I don't have to travel too far in order to step on both of the flowers. That way it prevents the boss from healing too much. That's the reason why I like to do it that way, like, you know, in a square. So now that you know what pattern I go, so I'm just going to show you the video and I'm going to kind of explain it while I do things. So over here we're about to start. And make sure to always take the Elixir of Protection. The Elixir of Protection will help you a lot, especially with that boss defense. So it does help you a lot in staying alive. Just remember that if the tank dies in this boss fight, the raid will wipe. So you have to stay alive at all costs. What I always have is I always have these big HP pots, the ones that heal 30,000. So I always keep those around with me. And then I always pop one of these Elixirs of Protections at the very beginning. So right here, it's the ice side will always initiate the fight. Ice side initiates and then right after the fire side follows up. You can see here that I'm following up. So we do a soul burn so that I can maintain aggro. So you can see here that he does 4 of these. He's going to do 4 of these slashy attacks that like are ranged projectiles that will hit you. Every time you get hit by one, you're going to get a stack of this debuff. And this debuff doesn't really do anything until you block an orb yourself. When you block one of the red orbs that come, since I'm on Fireside, I want to be blocking red orbs. If I solo block a red orb with these stacks on, it will hurt a lot. So I want to make sure that I save my deadlock or my 5-second iframe for when I block the orbs. Because if I have stacks of these and I block an orb without an iframe, it's going to chunk a lot of my HP. So just make sure whenever you get hit by these, either have your keeper block for you, or if you're solo blocking, make sure that you have an iframe so that you don't take a lot of damage. Okay, so let's continue. So once he raises his hand over there, the next attack he's going to do is he's going to drop fire swords on you. You can already see that there's a dark mark over there. A fire sword is going to slam down there. So just make sure that you're ready for that. So now you can see, bam, 1, 2, and 3. So he's going to drop 3 fire swords every time. So now you can see on the minimap, I've moved from point A to point B, literally just by walking over there. So it's really not that difficult. You just need to start moving. The moment he raises his hands, you need to start moving, because that's when he's going to summon the fire sword. Then you can just hold down your A key and you can move sideways and you'll dodge all of the damage, which is very nice. We're going to see here. So that now the fire swords are coming down. After the first phase of the 3 fire swords, it's going to say the flaming and frozen Asuras conjure flame and frost orbs. This is when you have to start blocking your red orbs. So as the tank, you need to have 3 stacks of the red buff or the red orb on fire side. So you need to make sure that your keeper shares 1 orb with you and you solo block 1. The reason why you want the keeper to share 1 at the very beginning is because you're tanking the boss. So at the same time, while you're running around and tanking stuff, you are taking damage. So you don't want too many stacks, especially with 2 stacks. If you have 2 stacks on you, you'll see later on in the video where I do have 2 stacks, my HP goes down extremely fast and it's very, very risky and very difficult to maintain your HP while tanking with 2 stacks. So you really want to avoid that. So you want to have 1 stack and then solo block 1 so you immediately get 3 stacks and stop taking that DOT damage. So we're going to see that here. So over here, the orbs are going to spawn randomly. So you see here that the orbs spawn over here. So I start moving towards it. I move towards there, and my keeper's over here. He's going to block the orb. So he's going to block the orb, and then he's going to share with me, so I get 1 stack. You're going to see here, I'm running towards it. He blocked it, and I shared. The moment you know you shared is you get this debuff over here. It says this 1 minute. So I'll now take DOT damage, or damage over time, because of this debuff. And what I really want to do next is I want to solo block an orb so that I can get rid of this debuff. See here that he blocked it and now he shares. And now he's going to use this 4/ again. And you're going to take that damage. So over here, I see that orb is over there. So I'm going to start moving towards it to solo block it. That way I can get rid of this debuff. But something bad happens and you're going to see that. You're going to see what happens. So I'm running towards it. I'm going to solo block it. And I move in. So I'm in position. And this is the part where we mess up. So I'm about to solo block it and I've got it. However, my keeper, he's coming in as well. And what happens is we share the stack. So I'm going to block this and I'm going to share with him and we're both going to have 2 stacks instead of me clearing the debuff. So you see there that we shared and now I have 2 stacks and I'm going to take a lot of damage and you'll see my HP go down. So you see here that I'm tanking, I'm trying to lifesteal, and the moment I stop attacking, I'm going to take a lot of damage. You'll see here, my HP is just slowly bleeding out. I'm going down to 50%, 40% now, and I had to take an HP pot. So always have these HP pots in reserve just in case. So now that I finished his 4 attacks, next thing he's going to drop are the 3 swords again, so I need to get moving. You can see here, 1. And now I'm at 37% HP. I immediately pop my deadlock. This is because I told my keeper I'm going to solo block this orb that's right behind me so that I can get rid of this debuff. Because the 2 stacks is really killing me here. So I'm going to deadlock, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to block this orb. You can see here now, 1, 2, the 3rd sword drops down. I'm going to solo block this orb, blocked, and I get out. But you see how risky that was? I'm at 14% HP. I nearly died because of that. And just because of having that 2 stack, it really, really hurts. So you really want to avoid that at all costs. And you can see that now my debuff has changed into a buff. You can see the icon is different. However, it only lasts for 1 minute. So when orb 6 or 7 is spawned, make sure that I refresh it by sharing with my keeper. So now I'm safe and I can just DPS and just lifesteal back all my HP. And drink a health pot. You can block that attack. You saw that right there when he threw one of his range things. You can counter this or you can block this, and it will not give you a stack of this that debuff. So you can block it to avoid 2 slashes, I think, which is pretty nice. But you'll see here that I'm just gonna keep attacking. He raises his hand again. He's gonna drop the swords. I start moving. I moved a little bit late there, but it's okay. And now there's another orb behind me. I just share with my keeper, make him do the work. And now just keep DPSing. Again, he's gonna throw stuff. Just so happens another fire orb's behind me again. I'm gonna share my keeper. Shared. Boom. Now fire swords drop. And just keep DPSing. So now it's going to say the flaming and frozen Asuras absorb the flame and frost globes. This is when I need to quickly get back into position to where I originally started, because I'm going to be stepping on the 2 flowers that are next to the river. So you'll see me now, I quickly move towards the river. So he's absorbed it and I move towards the river, move to my position where I originally started. The flower is going to spawn. I step on it. The moment I step on the flower, they're going to become these orbs. So you see here, now they become, you can see over here that they become this orb over there. There's an orb there and there's an orb there. Basically, we stepped on the flowers. You want to step on the flowers as soon as possible because the flowers will constantly heal the boss. So the only way to stop that is you step on the flowers. And another tip is you can deep wound the boss so that the flowers do not heal the boss that much. Once we're done stepping on the flowers, I need to quickly stand on this line. So you can see that the boss over here, he's lined up perfectly on this line. So I want to stand on this line and relatively close to the boss. I can stand a little bit closer if I want, but I wanted to stand here because there's a bubble here. our Force Master casted a bubble, and by standing in the bubble, all these fire things that are shooting at me will be negated, so I won't take damage. I just stand here and DPS, and now the healers and keepers get in position so that they can heal me and keep me alive, basically. And now they're going to absorb the vitality blooms, but there are none because we stepped on the flowers. And this is where we need to do the countdowns. So as a tank, I basically need to tell people when I get hit. So here I count /1, /2, /3, /4, and /5. There we go. So the healer and the keeper, there's a heal order and a keeper order, and when this phase happens. So usually what we do is healer 1 will heal on /2, their big heal. So in between their big heals, you're just smashing your left mouse button using your small heal. But on /2, the healer will do the big heal. And then on /3, the keeper will do the big heal. And other than that, you're just smashing your right mouse button to keep the guy alive, to keep the tanks alive. And that's all we do. We only use one healer and one keeper in our raids. And voila. See that I'm alive. Make sure that your soul fighters know when to use the HP buff, because, you know, if you don't have the HP buff, those attacks will kill you. And immediately the bosses are going to switch sides and they're going to drag the tank. You can see here that I got dragged across. I want to tab escape and immediately move backwards, because if I stay too close to the boss, he's going to use his Ember Stomp and it'll kill like half the raid. So you can see now it's exact same thing. You're going to see here that he's just going to throw his thing. I countered one of the attacks. So you can see over there, I blocked and I countered, so I only have 2 stacks of this debuff instead of 4. So when I solo block an orb, I will not take that much damage. Since the bosses are only on 20% HP and 21% HP, we called out that the tanks are not going to be blocking orbs. As the tank, I will not block any orbs, mainly because I know that the Twin Asuras will die before healing phase. My keeper will block all the orbs for me. And then the DPS will still block their regular orbs, and the healer will still block their regular orbs. And it's relatively straightforward, and we're just going to watch. So you're going to see he raises his hands, I immediately start moving, and thus I can avoid all his fire swords. See, there's a fire orb right behind me, but since we pre-communicated saying that I'm not blocking any of the orbs, I just ignore it, I just go on my merry way, just making sure that I have the tank's attention. And you can see here that I can block again, but I decide not to, and I just keep DPSing to stay alive. You see fire swords again, I start moving. Boom, boom. You can see the boss is at 9% now, just keep shooting. And it's relatively easy here. I don't have to do anything. I just shoot and stay alive. Bang, bang, bang. I don't understand how the boss got grabbed here, because you can see that I'm using the aim sights or whatever this skill is. So I don't know what happened here. Like somehow he got grabbed, so I can do this. And I nearly die because of this, because I was like stutter stepping while standing in the flame sword. So I don't know what happened here, but it's interesting. So I'm in between 2 swords here, and I quickly use my deadlock, or the boss dies before I could use my deadlock. So that was pretty cool. And the items that dropped here was a Frostburn orb. So tanking Fireside is not that difficult, but you just need to get used to the boss rotation. And the difficulty of this boss really depends on your keeper. If you have a really good keeper that can block all the orbs with you or for you and share with you, then it's much easier. However, if you have a keeper that is new, and as a tank you have to block all the orbs by yourself, then it becomes a lot more challenging. And communication is really key on this team fight as the tank with the keeper. You guys really need to communicate well to let them know, oh, I'm blocking this one, oh, you block that one, etc. and stuff like that. Hope this video helped. If it did, I'd really appreciate a subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the